What?
Oh boy, this is exciting.
I know.
We've never done this in the same room before. This is an
whole
exceptional
new experience for us.
Yeah.
Because we're usually between screens.
Okay.
Well, and the other thing too is we'll talk about like the show and we'll say hello to the audience. And I usually will say like, I'll wait for her to respond because there's a lag in the internet. And now we don't have to do that. I don't have to think about it at all. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to really think as hard.
Yeah, we can actually just talk and there's no real...
It's wonderful.
It is.
It really is. Because I do hear it sometimes when I'm editing. I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay.
It's like a deliberate...
It's like a little
pause. Yeah. Well, for anyone who's curious, my name is Matt.
I'm Celine. And we have a special guest today, Tom Ditter.
Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, hi.
Well, this is our weird little show, Peculiar Pairings. And usually the peculiar pair refers to us having a story with treats and us being just strange in general. But we're a trio today. You're here with us.
A duo to a trio.
Yeah. And kind of continuing the weird trend of us like talking with family members and stuff and just being related in general. You're my dad.
That's correct.
Not everyone in our audience knows all of the relations other than that we're cousins.
Right.
And kind of that.
And we've never done this in person, so it's kind of a special thing. It's the last episode we're recording of the year, probably. At least for 2022.
For 2022,
because I don't think we won't be able to make another one.
Does the audience know how you're cousins?
Oh, sort of. If they've we don't...
I don't know if we've really talked about it, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if we've explicitly talked about the exact relation, but we've definitely mentioned... Oh, go right ahead. We've definitely mentioned being related, having the same grandparents and such. Oh, no. So,
is the drink that...
I do want to preface this...
different.
Okay, good. Well, that's...
Okay, that doesn't...
One might call it peculiar. So, I have not tested this, but let's all go ahead.
Try it.
It's definitely different than Brandy 7.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's something. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I don't hate it. I don't like it.
I don't hate it, but I'm not going to go and order it somewhere.
I will say, though,
I'm going up to the bar and be like, get me that Elvis Presley sandwich drink.
Sandwich drink.
Is that what we're calling it?
I'm fine with that, the Elvis Presley sandwich drink. I'm actually pretty pleased with how well it kind of mimics the same flavor palette of a sandwich. I guess that'll lead...
right?
No, I think it's actually...
You think it tastes like a...
Well, not exactly.
What do you think it tastes like?
Yeah, how would you describe it?
You don't want me to say it live.
Yes, we do.
There are no rules on this show.
I probably won't finish it.
That is fine. I was not expecting you to. That's more than I expected you to do already.
I've got to give it a good test,
Well, I appreciate your due diligence.
You're already ahead of the curve.
Yeah, do not hold back. Be absolutely as honest as you can be.
It's probably my last sip.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fine.
In terms of drinks you've had in your entire life, how would that rate? Like 10 being the best, 0 being the absolute
Zero.
worst.
0. 0, hands down, no contest.
Well, this is the Peculiar Pairings show, as we've called it, so that is kind of the whole theme here. And so for anyone who's listening and wondering what we're drinking, the whole theme of this episode is Elvis. And for anyone who isn't aware, from what I found, he really two of his favorite treats were fried chicken and peanut butter, banana, and bacon sandwiches.
I thought it was sometimes bacon.
Oh, that could be.
I've heard
both. Yeah.
I've never heard the bacon part, so.
Well, maybe my research is bad.
I saw bacon and then in parentheses, sometimes. I'm like, does that mean like half the time? Like, more bacon or less bacon is
so like the
question I left with.
The bacon was specifically the parentheses thing?
Specifically sometimes.
Okay. Well, either way.
To me, sometimes mean on occasion.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that I really wanted to do the fried chicken as the treat. And feel free to go ahead if you want one. This is a recipe I found online that includes...
Revelation.
I think it's 23 different seasons. And
23?
I think so. I'd have to check the list again. I should have prepared for that. But it is, it's a lot. And I had to buy a whole bunch of things. I ended up, I ended up mixing an entire batch because the recipe I found several different ones. And this one was supposedly from a blog involving an interview of the guy that was the king's personal chef in his home.
Wow.
But when you say that, you have to remember that Elvis had a lot of people working under him and like in his organization and everything. So this recipe was for like 100 people. So I've made this 3 times now. I personally am not a huge fan of it, but I don't know if I'm doing it right because I had to square down all of the ingredients. But supposedly this is the recipe that he always ate. So we're eating fried chicken and we are drinking a drink that is meant to imitate his other favorite snack, the peanut butter, jelly, banana, and sometimes bacon sandwich.
Is it jelly in it?
No, a peanut butter and banana. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Peanut butter banana.
So it has screwball peanut butter whiskey, 99 bananas, a Wisconsin-owned bacon vodka, and then it's topped off with Grainbelt beer.
Yeah.
This is kind of a sort of bready, it's...
Beer is the bread?
Beer is the bread. So I would like to say it's not really meant to be a good drink. It's meant to evoke a certain...
feeling.
Yeah.
Taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is definitely something. And with that... Our topic today is Elvis Presley, who we've talked about previously on our celebrity deaths.
Oh, you're right, we did. I forgot about that.
Because there's a conspiracy theory that people think Elvis is actually still alive. And one of the theories they have is that he works at Graceland as the groundskeeper to escape the fame and the spotlight. That was his, he needed to get away. He was done, faked his death. But he's at Graceland still.
But he stays really close to all the people.
Stays close to home.
Dad, did you happen to... Because you've actually been to Graceland. You've been in his home, haven't you? Did you notice any peculiar-looking groundskeepers while you were there?
Nope.
Nope. They looked average.
They looked very average.
They looked like groundskeepers.
I do love the idea of him sticking around and just, not wanting to be the center of attention, but just hanging out and being like, I just want to make sure everything's good,
He's like, I'm done with this. I'm just keeping tabs on it, making sure that they're doing it right.
Yeah.
If that was true, I think it would have come to the forefront by now.
I think that's why people...
So.
Yeah, this is why people are labeling it as a conspiracy theory, because there's even as Elvis, who would probably have enough resources to hide his identity in some way, it's just not practical. There's no way he would be able to hide it this long.
Yeah, that is very true. So I have some notes on Elvis's background history. Pretty brief, just because otherwise this would be a very long episode. Mm-hmm. And we don't necessarily have time for that, so... The basics, as we all know, Elvis Aaron Presley, simply going by Elvis the King of rock and roll.
Hell yeah.
He's considered one of the most significant cultural icons of the 20th century. Not surprising.
Not surprising at all. You don't get the name The King without being pretty influential and significant to the industry and just population in general.
Yeah.
Like your community, your society.
Very true. He was born on January 8th, 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi. Then he died on August 16th, 1977 in Memphis, Tennessee at his home in Graceland. And for his musical genres, he covered rock and roll, pop, rockabilly, country, gospel, R&B, and the blues. So he covered a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Elvis also played piano and guitar as well as singing. And his record labels were The Sun, RCA Victor, HMC, and Allied Artist Music Group throughout like his entire career.
Wow. I always assumed he was with like basically one label, like forever kind of.
No, I think it just kind of evolved just like as his career evolved, doing various things like with acting and like going into the military and then like coming back, kind of all of that.
He started with Sun Studios.
Yes.
And then got a big contract with RCA. I don't remember, it was a few years later.
Well, I don't know anything.
It was pretty famous.
Yeah, and I mean, well, because that's what I always assume is like there seems to be a sort of hierarchy of labels where when you're starting out, you start with smaller ones, and
that's kind of what I remember. He kind of outgrew Sun Studios.
Right. It just always seems like even with a smaller label, I guess maybe they wouldn't have the resources or something, because you'd think that if they know they have a hit on their hands, they don't want to get rid of it. But I suppose that's maybe their entire thing, is that we are a jumping off point and we sell these huge names for a lot of money to bigger labels that can handle them. I don't know.
I think that is potentially what they do, is that they look for that specific person to find like a niched area.
Yeah.
Because that is actually what Sam Phillips, who was the guy who he worked with at Sun Studios, was looking for. Is he was looking for a specific sound, which was to bring music from the African American culture into a broader audience, which is basically, this is music made more for a black population. Let's get this to the white people of America.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Let's get a pretty white dude to take this music to the next level.
Well, that's like what he kept telling people.
I don't think they were specifically looking for something like that.
That's what he kept telling people, is he was looking for that sound, but wanted a wider audience. So,
because he knew that it was great music that a lot of people would like, but it wasn't necessarily crossing like
it wasn't crossing the racial barriers, is what it wasn't doing. So he was looking for something to do that, which I thought was kind of interesting, because that was one of the bigger things when Elvis like first started performing on a bigger scale, because he performed a few times like as a kid, and poor guy was bullied a lot as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he was different.
Yeah.
He was different as a child. People thought that he was a loner. He actually had an identical twin brother who was born 35 minutes before him, named Jesse, and he was stillborn.
I thought that was like a myth.
No, that's a fact.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's
fun
sad.
fact for the day, Elvis had a twin brother.
Wow.
And so for him, like, he grew up pretty close to his parents, so he got teased a lot as a kid because they're like, oh, you're such a mama's boy.
He was especially close to his mom.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So growing up, he grew up going to church and kind of grew up listening to more gospel music, which I believe is where he got his kind of his inspiration. Is that correct, Tom?
Yeah. He went to a black church.
I was going to say, didn't he primarily live in a black community?
He lived dirt poor. I mean, about as poor as you can get.
Yeah. His dad moved jobs a lot. And they often had to rely on their neighbors and government assistance growing up.
I think his dad even spent some time in jail for check fraud.
Yes, he did. He did. It was for like check fraud from their landlord, who was also sometimes his employer.
Oh, no.
Like the wrong person to do check fraud with, the person that owns the home you're living in.
And is sometimes paying your paycheck. Yeah. I know how much money you have. I know that check's not going to clear.
I know that's not how this is working.
Well, I think they actually lost the home in Tupelo.
Yes, they did.
Make the payments. We actually were at his birth house, too.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it owned by someone, or is it like a landmark now? Like
it's a landmark. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was
We
even
went
a
there
landmark.
first and then to Graceland.
Wow.
That was really interesting.
Well, and it's kind of heartwarming to know, too, that it wasn't like he was a or at least from what it sounds like, he wasn't like a slick dude trying to pull a fast one. He's like, I'm just trying to keep my house. He's like, I have to get you a check. I don't have the money. It's just really sad.
I don't think he was out robbing banks or anything.
Right.
No.
He's just in a horrible
Scraping
position.
by.
Right. He's just trying to do whatever he can. That's sad.
But yeah, a lot of his teachers growing up were like, you're not really a great singer.
Oh, no.
He heard that, I don't know how many times from people. They're like, you're not really good at this. But he did have one teacher, I think, in Mississippi before they moved to Tennessee, that actually was like, you could be really good at this. And that's when he learned he had pretty bad stage fright.
Oh, right. I think I've heard you talk about that before, Dan. The idea of just like...
He was actually very shy.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a very shy kid.
Which you wouldn't think of one of the most iconic known stars in history was a really shy person.
Yeah.
Really shy, huge stage fright.
Yeah.
Big performer.
Yeah, the biggest name in history possibly. And he had stage
shy.
fright.
Yeah, but one of his teachers in 8th grade gave him a C in music because she's like, you're not a good singer. And he then came back with a different song to prove her wrong the next day. And she did admit, like, okay, maybe I was wrong. And she's like, but your sound just isn't for me.
I have not heard that.
That's not a reason to, like, give him a C in class.
I was going to say, it also seems
Like,
weird that, like, you can't
I just don't like what you're doing, so fail. Failing grade.
And just for coming back against me with, like, trying to prove me wrong, screw you. I don't like you. Elvis, you're weird.
Well, what was his final grade then? C?
I think it was still a C. I think he was failing before then because
Yeah,
she's
but
like,
C in my day was not failing. That was average.
I think he had a failing grade before and then got bumped up to
Because
he came back and was like, no, I can do it.
I really can do this. And she's like, okay, fine, C.
Yeah, I think that's what it is because he does. I know he has talked about it later and been like, yeah, like I failed music class as a kid.
Wow.
You're like, oh.
Well, and it's kind of weird to think too, because it's such a different thing from, at least when I was going to school, things like art, music, and gym. As long as you put in a good effort and they saw like you're trying,
got an A.
Yeah, they're like, you get an A. You showed up, you ran the walked the mile, or like you tried to play this instrument, you do the recorder in like 3rd grade, and they're like, yeah, you're right, but they're like, you can't sing, F.
I think in one as a teenager, he actually entered a talent contest and he took
did.
2nd place.
He took 5th place.
Oh, it was 5th.
It was 5th. Because
It wasn't first.
Yes, it wasn't first. It was 5th place. And that was one of his teachers in grade school was encouraging him to do it. And it was at the Mississippi Alabama Fair and Dairy Show.
Okay.
That is adorable.
Yes, I would say he was 12 or 13 at the time, and he placed 5th.
Oh. Well, that's pretty good still.
I feel like that's pretty
how many
good.
was there total? 6?
I don't know.
There were 4.
There were only
There were 4
there
people.
were 4 of them. He got 5th.
He was so shy. He was just standing on the sidelines. He's like, I could say
Kind of like
Yes.
Mimi's Pugs, 88th smartest dog breed. But I always tell her, at least they're in the top 100.
Top
Poor
one.
Pugs. That's the kind of dog you look at and you're like, yeah, I know you're barely in the top 100. They sure are lucky they're cute, though.
They are. That's what saves them. It's the cute factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
But
excel in that.
They excel it. They really do.
as a kid, Elvis got a guitar for Christmas one year, and he was disappointed it was not a bike. Like every other kid.
You know, I've heard different stories about that.
Yeah.
His first guitar, actually, like when I can't remember how old he was, pretty young. He wanted a 22 rifle.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Yeah.
And
And I say it was a bike or a rifle. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, but his mom or dad or both, when they took him to buy it, they tucked him into a guitar because they didn't really want him running around with a rifle. Figured it was safer or
So
something.
the whole
Probably.
you'll shoot your eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah, exactly. And then he thinks Santa got to him or whatever.
Yeah.
Or his mom got to Santa Claus. Yeah, it's that is always, it's just like a kid. Oh, it's not what I wanted.
It's not what I wanted. But
You don't understand. This is going to make you the biggest star in history.
He did used to bring his guitar to school and he'd like play it during lunch, which is also kind of what got him bullied. Because
I was just
the
gonna
other
say-
kids were like, what are you doing? And I'm
That
like,
is something that has never changed through the generations. The kid who brings a guitar to school and is like sitting on the table, like playing something, I was like, it's just so douchey. Something, I don't know why, but it's just so off-putting and it's just weird.
yeah.
Even though they're probably really good.
I mean, we felt the same way when I was doing speech and debate in high school. Anytime we were at a speech meet,
You'd bring speech to
a kid
class.
would like pull out their guitar. We do
No.
this on like Saturdays during the weekend. We'd compete against each other. And as we're waiting in between like each of the like rounds you have 3 rounds.
Yeah.
3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon for different events. And without fail, there was almost always one kid with the guitar. And they would always play Wonderwall.
Yes. Yeah.
Doesn't matter about any other song in the world.
No.
Only played Wonderwall. I'm like, can't you learn like at least one other thing? Please.
For context, for you, it was very popular in like the late 90s, mid 2000s.
That'd be
Kind
why I
of.
haven't heard of it.
You wouldn't like it.
I promise you it's not the world's most amazing song.
It's not, but it's one of those where it sounds good, but it's easy to play. So that's
Yeah,
why everybody
that's why
played it,
everyone
and
knows
that's
it.
why everyone hates it. Because they're like, stop playing Wonderwall.
But I can at least imagine that maybe he had more in his repertoire versus one song.
Undoubtedly. Yeah,
At least
he
I
almost
hope
had
so.
that.
But yeah, he was bullied a lot as a kid and he was shy. But he did seem to gain confidence in his senior year. And that is when he came in with his legendary sideburns.
No way!
Yeah.
I would have assumed that was way later in life. That was in high school?
It was in high school.
That's pretty badass, honestly.
Yeah. And like his classmates kind of noticed it. They're like, oh, he's like a more confident person. Like, okay.
They say the hair makes the man. Well, I think they say the clothes make the man, but the phrase works both ways. The hair makes the man.
Whatever.
Well, look at me. That's why I'm such a goofball, because I don't, I could be like a really successful,
Do you
confident.
think of yourself as a goofball?
Oh,
man?
yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, it's not because of the hair.
It's not because of hair. It's
This
my
is just an
personality.
excuse.
It's because you have a face for radio.
I do. That's what they say. Hence the microphone. You know, it's kind of amazing how your own set of talents drives you towards what you're meant to do, right? That's why I deliver mail and I talk behind a microphone.
Yeah. I do have a fun fact for you. Elvis couldn't actually read music. He played everything by ear.
I think I actually knew that. That's also what probably made him a really good guitarist, because when you're not like stuck in the structure of musical compositions, you can kind of do whatever you want. But at the same time, it does make it hard to like learn a song, because you can just look at the page.
I think that's also maybe why he failed music class.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
It's because he couldn't read the physical sheet music, and they're
I
like,
can add to that fact. He never studied, never had any singing lessons either. I remember reading that. He never had.
Oh, that is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
And also why he failed music class. But I suppose he just kind of, everything he had in him was from church, like singing hymns and whatnot.
I think he just had a God-given talent.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
without a
definitely
doubt.
did.
Yeah.
And it really just took the right person to come along and find it. Because before I think he was doing some recordings at Sun Studios, because it's like the first recordings he did, he bought to give to his mom as like a birthday gift. He paid for like the 2 sides for like 1 song each. So 2 songs. And I actually have the names of those. It was My Happiness and That's When Your Heartaches Begin. Those were like his first 2 actual recorded songs in like studio.
Do those ring a bell to you?
The name of the songs themselves don't, but the story does.
Okay.
Yeah.
The story is
The story is what's important.
I
Yeah,
know
just-
that his first recording, I think he paid to have it recorded.
Yeah.
He just did it so he had a record he could take home and give to his mom.
Oh, I see what you. Yeah, so it wasn't like this was the beginning of his career.
No, it was not.
No.
He just did that.
He just did it just for her, which is really
for the
sweet.
experience, I think.
Oh, sure, yeah, but like he wasn't signed to a label or anything.
No.
No.
Every step of his story is heartbreaking and
It's
adorable. Like
it does.
he's like, I just wanted to give my mama something for Christmas.
Well, that's pretty much
Yeah, that's
about
basically
it.
it.
That's really sweet.
And at the time, he was working as a truck driver for the Crown Electric Company.
Huh.
And one of his friends, he'd done like a few gigs, I think just like playing at like a local...
The equivalent of like an open mic.
Yeah,
tonight.
an open mic, like playing at like the local bar kind of thing. And one of his friends was like, oh, like this band has an opening for a lead vocalist. You should audition. And they rejected him and told him he would never make it as a singer and he should stick to driving trucks.
Oh my
Heard
God. Wow.
Brutal.
Brilliant, isn't it?
It really
Very
is.
brutal.
Well, and it's because it doesn't even sound like he's necessarily that determined. He just loves singing that much. He finds
Yeah.
a love of music. Like it's in his sort of poor upbringing, that's just the one thing he has that no one can take from him. But they sure try. They just tell him, you're never going to be good at this. We're a band. We need a lead singer, and we don't want you to even fill in. You're that bad. And that's
Yeah,
to Elvis Presley.
I know. I'm sure they kicked themselves later.
Oh,
after,
yeah.
like, later, once his career really took off, they're like,
I think he was just so different and unique.
Yeah.
It was like the teacher story, that
Yeah, it
he
wasn't.
just didn't like his music.
Because he essentially begins this revolution of rock and roll, and they don't have an ear for it. They're used to these kind of classical tunes, and they're like, they're like, this isn't even like what Grandpa John used to say. It's like, this isn't even music; it's just noise.
It's just noise.
Yeah, and that's what I can see his teacher being like, Elvis, you don't have a knack for this. This is just, it's like you're banging pots and pans. He's like, it's going to be real big someday. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
Mama, I got you this record. It's going to be a big hit someday.
Yeah, so I think from what I was reading, the way his career kind of kicked off was that Sam Phillips acquired a ballad from Jimmy Sweeney that he thought, having heard Elvis in the studio recording like his own stuff, he's like, I actually think this kid would be really good for this song. So they brought him in, got him to record it, and then they played it on the radio. And everyone kept calling in and asking, who's the kid on the song? And that's like what started stuff off.
Yeah, so they're all just like, we're familiar with this song, we've heard this ballad, but they're like, we've never heard this dude's voice. They're like, this guy sounds amazing.
Yeah.
He's got a real gospel tone to him.
So then, like, because of that, they brought him back into the studio, and they spent a whole day trying to get him to record these songs, and they're like, this, like, just isn't working. And right at the very end, they were like, you know what, maybe this isn't gonna work. Let's go home.
Another step where someone's just telling him, like, you just don't have what it takes. Like, you thought this could be you.
And this is when he turned around, picked up the guitar, and just started, like, moving with it. And then the bass player jumped in on it. And then the guitar player with them jumped in on it. And they're like, we actually have something here. And rolled with it, which then led into them playing at the Bon Air Club as, like, the trio.
Huh. Do you know what the Bon Air Club is?
No, I don't, but I assume it's a local place.
I think it's a local place. Yeah. It's like the
I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be like a super famous thing. I'm thinking like Grand Ole Opry level.
No.
Am I supposed to have known about this?
No,
Okay.
it's like the equivalent of playing a small
In
venue
cahoots.
like
Well,
this.
okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were giving a pause and you were like looking at us like the Bon Air Club. And I'm like, am I supposed to know what that is?
No,
Okay.
it's like their first bigger venue.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is like what it is.
Shout out to In Cahoots, Hamel, Minnesota. Elvis might have played there.
I mean, maybe. And
I
then
doubt it.
Oh, sorry, dude, how old is In Cahoots? I mean, were they even around when Elvis was, or was there a bar there?
Oh, there's been a bar there since I was a kid.
Elvis could have played there.
Coulda.
Good as a young traveling trio.
But I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, it
Probably not.
doesn't seem like if they're coming all the way from the south this far north, they're probably not stopping in it. Especially old time Hamill, where that was it. It was like a bar, a bank, and
literally nothing
and
else.
a church. Yeah, and that's it. And a cemetery.
There actually was 3 bars in that town at one time.
No kidding.
And 3 grocery stores.
Really? In Hamill?
Yeah.
What? Where? All on the same street?
Yeah, all on Main Street.
Just
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
It's not like we had
grocery store,
ones
grocery
in
store,
Byerly's
grocery store,
back.
bar.
Well, sure. I just...
They were little mom and pop grocery stores.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose like Fortin's, like they just do like a specific kind of like hardware.
Yeah.
And I guess it just seems weird that like they'd have 3 just all on the same street. But who doesn't like a good bar, a good local bar?
So because of that appearance later that month, they appeared at the Overton Park Shell with Slim Whitman, which was the first time he showcased his rubber legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He did the iconic Elvis dance?
Yes. And it kind of helped him combine his sense of rhythm for the music and also his nervousness with playing.
Yeah.
Kind of just get the movement out so he wouldn't have such severe stage fright.
Yeah, because Dad, you always talked about that was kind of a nervous tick for him.
Yeah.
That, like the dancing wasn't so much a
I think in
dance.
the early days, he didn't even realize he was doing it. It was just the nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was how he like got rid of it.
Yeah,
He
well,
let
I
it go
think
into his
in,
legs and
when they were singing gospel in the churches when he was a kid, they get pretty
emphatic, energetic.
You haven't seen his movie.
I still have it.
Yeah,
Which movie? He has several.
The newest one.
The Elvis movie.
Well, and to be fair, like Dad's been talking to me about it because I think even without the internet, I think you told me about his movie coming out months ago.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard about it. And then when she mentioned she wanted to do an episode, part of the whole idea behind the concept is that I generally don't know what she's going to be talking about. So I didn't want to see the movie because I don't want to be as familiar. I want to sort of react to it. And so, but I feel bad because like you and I had talked about going and seeing it. And I didn't want to say no, but it ended up not working out anyways. And then you said you had seen it. I'm like, we got to record this episode because I want to watch that movie.
I do too. So like, because of that, he appeared on a few like other TV shows. Like he was on the Ed Sullivan Show multiple times.
I remember that as a kid.
You saw that show?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was amazing to me.
Yeah. Did you have to like stay up late to watch it and you had to like convince Grandma and Grandpa?
Sullivan was a
Please,
family
Grandma.
variety show.
Oh, I guess I always thought of it as like a late night kind of talk show thing.
No, it was
more like Red Skelton's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just always sort of assumed.
And you know the story about his first appearance.
They only pulled him from the waist up because they thought his
it was
leg
too
movements was too
provocative
for TV for like families. They're like, this isn't wholesome enough.
The older generation actually thought he was vulgar.
Yeah.
It's amazing how.
And the younger generation was like, whoa, Elvis!
Oh, yeah. That kind of thing always makes me think of the band Kiss. Because they have those really elaborate costumes and fire, and Gene Simmons is always putting his tongue out. And then when you listen to their songs, they're pretty tame.
Yeah.
Like a lot of adults in the 80s or parents were like, they are of the devil and they're gonna corrupt our children. I'm like, they're talking about having fun in the summertime. Like they're actually one is literally dressed like a kitty cat. And you think about Elvis and it's like he's a pretty tame performer when you get right down to it. But it's just how things changed through generations.
Yeah,
they shot him from the waist up.
Yeah. They didn't want to show any of his gyration on TV because they're like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
This is not for children.
Yeah. Well, when was Elvis? Elvis was pretty well before the Rolling Stones, right?
Yeah.
But because that always makes me.
He started getting famous in the mid 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
56, I think, was when he really got his first big hit. And the Rolling Stones and the Beatles came in the early 60s.
There we go. Yeah. It just always makes me think of, you would always tell me the story about them in their song "Let's Spend the Night Together," and they had to change the lyrics just for that one appearance to "Let's Spend the Day Together." Because let's spend the night together. That's
I remember it changing to "Let's Spend the Day Together," but everything I read about it now says "Let's spend some time together."
Oh, either way, they're changing it. Yeah,
but
that is even more tame.
I swear to God, it was "Let's spend the day together."
Yeah,
to my memory, but
either way, it's the whole idea of spend the night.
Yeah,
you can't.
What are you
doing compared to the days?
We can't tell the children about this.
Well, it's interesting.
An 8-year-old's gonna.
I mean, have you seen the movies they make for children these days? There's so many adult jokes in them. For the kids, it's so over their heads. It's like...
It is kind of amazing.
That was kind of my point.
Yeah.
The kids
don't know.
Right.
But that's why they do it, because they know the parents have to go. And they're like, at least the parents will have a good time.
More apt to come again.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it's enjoyable enough for the parents, they'll get more butts and seats and sell more tickets.
Well, it's like when Shrek came out, which for me, I was 5 or 6. When it came out, my dad's like, this movie is the funniest thing I've ever seen. He's like, this is a kid's movie, and we're completely oblivious. You watch it now as an adult, and you're like, oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, it was weird because I think I did see it in theaters, and I was probably in high school, and I remember watching it later in college, and we're having a few drinks, and I'm like, this is more adult than I remember. But it's just as funny. Funny. It doesn't lose anything. They specifically do that to make sure that adults can watch it and have as good a time as the kids are.
Yeah.
The adult jokes are just going to go over their heads.
They don't get it.
No, they don't get it at all. They're there for the fart jokes and the
what fighting,
the slapstick
the fart
humor.
jokes. Thank you. Fart jokes and slapstick humor. Kids love simple things.
Yes. So with the beginning of his career, Elvis was also drafted into the Army. And his arrival was a huge ordeal. There were tons of people there taking photos. And he did record 5 songs after his first leave from basic training. He went back, recorded some songs, came back to base. And I think he did that for a while throughout his military career of 2 years.
Well, I was thinking he didn't really do that much recording once he was in the service and over in Germany.
I think it's once he got into Germany, he wasn't recording for a while.
Yeah.
But that's also when he met Priscilla, was while he was in Germany.
In fact, when he was in Germany, he couldn't do any performing for money. He could do it to entertain the troops.
Yeah.
No kidding. Just as part of a contract as a military
special ops kind of thing, I think is what they put it under.
Oh, him performing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he couldn't get paid for performing. Weird.
Right, he was in the Army.
Yeah, he was enlisted, so you can't make money outside of us. We own you.
Being in the Army brings us to another Hamel tie.
No kidding.
Really?
Gordy Schmidt, who's probably, I think he's in his 80s now, was actually in Germany with Elvis.
Shut up!
No way!
He knew
he knew
I want to be absolutely clear. You don't mean he just happened to be there at the same time.
You and I were there at the little...
Well, we weren't in Germany, Dad.
No, but we went to the library in Hamel. No, or was
the Hamel Library.
Were you with me?
You and I have gone to the little library.
Well,
I don't know.
Wait a minute. It wasn't you because you
remember
this because Gordy was there and we were talking to him about it.
That might have been Bear.
And he actually,
it could have been Bear.
He actually met his wife, or he wrote a story for the local paper.
Oh, Gordy wrote. Okay, yeah.
And he thanked Elvis for him marrying his wife because his wife was such an Elvis fan. When she found out he was in the Army with Elvis, she'd go out with him.
That's a pretty good story.
That is how he snagged his woman.
That is pretty... Wait, but so...
That is something.
And there's another thing I remember him either telling me or I read about it in an article, was he was actually quite a piano player.
Elvis was? Or
yeah.
Gordy? Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he played piano and guitar.
Huh. Oh, Well, although that makes perfect sense because you've shown me videos of him.
Well, like the one, one song,
Twisted Melody or Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody.
Yeah, I forgot that's him playing, and he plays really well.
Quite well. He sings better, but
What are you, his music teacher? Come on. Come on. Don't give him an F just because. All right, he's playing a lot of the same keys.
I mean, if you watch him sing that song, it brings tears to your eyes. I mean,
it's really.
I'll have to watch it.
You should, yeah. Well, he'll pull it up. Trust me, he loves it.
Oh, okay.
And no joke, it's really because wasn't that one of his last performances?
Yeah, it was just weeks before he died.
Yeah, and he's clearly not in great shape. But his level of performance never decreased. He always gave everything. Yeah, and he always gave everything of what he had to give, regardless of his physical state.
And that song really comes out in that song.
Yeah, especially his version. It's a phenomenal song.
Yeah.
So while he was in the military, he had 3 big things happen while he was there. One was that his mom died.
Yeah.
And he heard that she got diagnosed with hepatitis and that she was not doing well. So he was granted emergency leave to go and see her.
Oh, wow.
Which for him worked out really well because he got to be there with her for her last few days, which I know was really heartbreaking for him, as I'm sure, being very close with his parents, especially with his mom. And then number 2 was also introduced to amphetamines from other soldiers.
That early?
Early.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, that might have even been, not that I know for sure, but I've heard some people talk about that in some instances they were actually issued by the military to keep the soldiers going. They're like, hey, our soldiers perform really well when they're on these uppers.
Just give them some meth, it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And it's also back when we didn't know about addiction and stuff, and they're like, amphetamines make them go forever. So that's
Woo!
Yeah.
And then he also met his wife, Priscilla.
So was she in Germany, or was that... Because she's American, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she was visiting in Germany.
So it wasn't
they happened to be in the same location, which was Bad Neheim. I cannot say.
You want to take another stab at that?
No.
That's the name of a town?
Yes, it's the name of a town, and I'm not very good at my German pronunciation.
Let me take a quick look. I want to try.
Yeah.
Bad Nauheim.
Badnauheim. I don't know. I'm not very good at this right now.
I mean, if we heard it spoken, we might be able to do, but Bad Nauheim.
Yeah, so he met Priscilla when she was 14.
Wow.
And I'm trying to remember what the age difference was between them, but I think it was pretty significant. I think she was 14 and he was in his early 20s.
I think he was younger than that. I'm not.
Because when
was he born?
So Elvis was born in 35.
He was born in 35.
Oh, and this is World War II.
Drafted,
right. So he'd have to be at least 18.
He was drafted in 1958.
58? Okay, so that's not World War II.
No.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
No, he was drafted in 1958.
Was that Vietnam?
No.
Was it
no.
What the hell?
Korean War, maybe.
So he was 23 and she was 14. So it's a 9.
To be fair,
drafted in the army that late in life?
58.
Yeah. I think
guessed he was more around 20, but that's the math proves it.
Yeah, I think as far as getting drafted, I don't think there's really much of an age limit up to, I think you just have to be 18. You just have to be.
And then there's no necessary. I think the only restriction is up to 35 or something.
Yeah, so then they could have just.
Yeah, they can pick essentially whoever.
23 is abnormally late to be drafted.
Usually it's earlier.
Well, 18 is usually when you get your draft notice.
Yeah.
Well, and didn't you? I vaguely remember you telling me once or twice about either his studio or his agent or somebody, or maybe even a movie studio was trying to get him a special dispensation to be removed from the draft, but he didn't want to. He wanted to, like, he felt it was
he didn't want to be treated any different.
Yeah.
He wanted,
or maybe that's what it was after he was drafted.
It was after he was drafted. He wanted to be treated like everyone else because they
wanted to hold him back in some kind of lesser physical thing.
I think what they wanted to do was kind of give him like this other treatment where it's like, oh, like we're not gonna put you like on the front lines.
You're fucking Elvis. We're not.
Like,
we're not
Elvis. Of course not.
And he's like, no, I want to be a soldier.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be treated any different, which was kind of why Priscilla was like, well, I don't know if this is gonna like really hurt your career.
Yeah.
With music, but they ended up using that to his advantage.
Oh yeah.
And kind of being like, you know, like he's like an American, like everyone else. Like he loves
the
military. He's a true patriot.
The PR is insane.
He was though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's not like he's not faking it. He's like, I don't want to be.
Was.
Yeah, and they're like, that's only going to help you sell more records. People love a hero.
Yeah, but yeah, his courtship with his wife Priscilla was 7.5 years. So they didn't get married until she was like 21, 22.
Yeah. But he had her, he flew her over there and she lived at Graceland with him.
Yeah.
When she was like 14, 15. Waiting for her to get old enough to get married is what it boiled down to.
Okay, so a little problematic.
It's slightly problematic, but it is. It was a different time. This was 70 years ago.
And I was going to say, not to defend that necessarily, but in terms of historical courtships, there are many in the past that are like, he's 67 and she's like 13. Yeah. So I'm like, and they clearly loved each other's, but
yes,
she's living in Graceland waiting.
You two have heard of Jerry Lee Lewis, right?
Yes.
Well, he married his first cousin when she was like
13 and a half.
I think that's kind of a Southern thing.
It might be. I mean, you know, and then that phrase always comes up. It was a different time.
Yeah.
Sometimes things are just of their period.
Well, you know, it makes you wonder, though, what parent on earth would let their 14-year-old daughter go live with? I don't care how famous you are.
I don't care how famous you are. You're not running away with, like, my 14-year-old child.
I met her in Germany.
It was a little weird, but...
That's a good point. Yeah, like, wouldn't your parents are going to be like, look, you seem to be respectful... You guys both like each other. She's 14. She's going to stay at home.
Who knows? Maybe they were gold diggers, you know?
They very much could have been.
That's true.
I mean, why else would
Yeah.
And he's still a respectful Southern gentleman, and they're like, he's worth
he's worth so much money.
Right. At the time, I was going to say $1 billion, but probably not. But
I think not quite that, because
it's all speculation.
Yeah. When he did come back, that is when he really dove into his acting career, which is
here it comes, folks.
For all of the. There's a lot of Elvis movies out there, and I've seen a few, and I was actually like kind of impressed watching a few of them. Like, I mean, he's very much Elvis at his,
plays
core.
Elvis really well.
He does Elvis very well.
I think that's the most generous way to put it. I've seen a few. We watched a little marathon a while back. I think it was me, you, and Mimi, maybe Sammy, and Turner Classic, TCM,
Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah, they were doing a marathon, and I found them to be very hit or miss. And some
of them were good, some of them were like, what is happening in this story?
And they're like, because some of them are almost carbon copies of each other. Yeah. And the one thing you can say is like, he's really good at being Elvis. Yeah, he's.
His name might be different, but like the character in itself is the same every time.
The hair's always the same. Yeah. He's always shot kind of like this, leaning on a fence. Just, hey, how you doing?
Got some famous, beautiful woman.
Oh yeah, exactly. At some point, he plays the guitar.
Where I think it was like based in Hawaii or California, and they were like at this resort, and then suddenly there's like this race car scene, and we're like, what is?
Yeah, no, that's the same thing. Yeah, there's like 5 of his movies. We watched one where
it just like didn't make sense because it just suddenly was there, and I'm like, I don't know who wrote this script. Like, I think you missed the mark.
All I remember is it was I think I was visiting years ago for like Thanksgiving or Christmas, and it was like my last day that I was staying with you guys, and it had been a whirlwind weekend. We're like, we're just going to hang out, sip some coffee, and watch hey, look, it's an Elvis marathon. Let's watch that. And I was slowly kind of packing my stuff up throughout the day. And I think we watched 3 or 4. And on the 4th one, if I'm not mistaken, it was all like white actors, but they were playing Native Americans. It was
that was kind of common back then.
It was, but it was.
It's not surprising.
And it wasn't like that poorly written, but it was still essentially the same kind of story of one of the movies we'd written or watched before. Yeah. But it was Elvis essentially as an Indian. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I think that's enough for me. I'm going to go. I think this is where I'm going to take my leave.
Do you have any idea how many movies he made?
Wasn't it like 60?
No.
I don't think it was quite that much.
It was like 33, I think.
Okay, but it was within like 3 years, wasn't it?
Colonel signed him up. He had a
7 years, 7, 8 years. Because during that time, he didn't actually make any music. And I think because he wasn't making music, that's also kind of what made him like somewhat unhappy.
Yeah. Well, he had this contract to do all these movies.
Yeah.
And all they gave him was these B scripts. And he got tired of it, kind of. But he had to fulfill his contract. So some of his early ones were actually pretty good, but like the scripts were the same. And I think he just kind of grew tired of it. I tried to get some more predominant roles, but the Colonel blocked them all.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and there again, so I vaguely remember us talking about how he kind of wanted. He actually helped push to do more movies in a row because he's like, I just want to get this over with.
Yeah.
He was contracted for so many, and he's like, I gotta get this done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was at the end of that stint that his daughter Lisa Marie was born, which was February 1st of 1968. Okay. So 1968 is when he stopped doing movies. And that is when he had a recorded special that ended up becoming called his 68 comeback special.
Yeah. Huh. Is that the one that they did in Hawaii?
Yes.
And they broadcast that he did something?
I think so.
It was a worldwide broadcast. It was the first time ever doing something like that, if I remember right.
1968, you said?
1968.
Wow,
was it 68 or 69? I think
it's 68 or 69. It's
I think
right
it was
in
69.
that.
But either way, close to the 70s.
69's comeback special.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, and it was also in the same year that he kind of switched over from more gospel type music to what they call more secular music.
Oh, okay.
Which is stuff that is less Christian based he's really
doing
what
less
that means.
hymns and he's doing just straight rock and roll versus the
and that is
gospel.
In this album he had, I think it was like 6 number 1 hits, and one of those was In the Ghetto.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Made famous, as we all know, by Ray Romano on Everybody Loves Raymond. Seeing a lot of confused faces around the table.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
I think Elvis made it.
He made it famous.
If I am not mistaken, the title of this album was From Elvis in Memphis, was the name of the actual studio album.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And that was like his comeback album, essentially?
Yeah.
After he got done with his movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he came out with some pretty good songs on that.
Well, like you said,
this
6 number 1 hits?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this was during right in the peak of the British invasion.
Oh,
yeah, the British invasion with the Beatles.
Yep. Okay.
And the Rolling Stones.
Stones.
Well, that is kind of weird because it's like Elvis sort of faded away, or from the music scene anyway. Yeah. And he's doing all these movies.
Doing the movies, and then he
comes back and he's
with
like,
a bang.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm still the king.
And he was nervous about it.
He was.
Yeah, he was really nervous. He was afraid that his fans wouldn't come back, because he was out of it for so long.
Yeah. Every step of his life is just a hurdle.
Elvis didn't do what the Colonel wanted him to.
Yeah.
He wanted him to play these certain songs, but Elvis
kind of classic hits or something.
Yeah. Kind of more so that.
But he come up with some of his own new songs with kind of bucked the Colonel in that special.
Yeah, good for him. I'm Elvis, damn it. I'm going to do what I want.
That's pretty much what it is.
This is also when he came back with more of the flashy wardrobe with like the tassels on like the arms.
His famous jumpsuit.
Yes.
Doing the karate kicks and the...
Yeah, so that's actually something he learned in the military was karate.
Oh, no way.
And he brought that later into his life and his performances with like all the kicks and stuff was his karate training in the military.
I think he even continued it.
Yeah, he continued it after because he had a love for karate.
And he had a personal karate trainer, I think.
Which is also where his marriage fell apart, unfortunately.
With the karate?
Yes, with the karate.
What are you talking about? How is that possible?
There was more to it than just the karate.
Okay.
Well, yes, it is. This is the part where it gets real juicy in his personal life.
All right, I'm ready.
Him and his wife both ended up having affairs, and Priscilla had an affair with the karate instructor that he suggested for her.
No. Wait. He was trying to get her into karate?
Yeah.
Oh, and then she ended up having
an affair with the instructor.
Oh.
But to be fair, he was also having an affair with someone else. And so, like, they both ended up having affairs and their marriage kind of fell apart.
That I've never heard. I didn't know he had an affair.
She didn't say it until later, after they had divorced.
No shit.
He had multiple women on the side. He's Elvis.
Right. I was going to say, it's Elvis. It's
but
hard to...
she didn't come out about her having an affair until after they had divorced. And I think because of all the other stuff that was going on, it kind of just like got hidden under the rug.
Okay. Wow. I have to admit, as much as you and I have talked about Elvis, I never knew he had affairs before.
Well, I think he actually had quite a few.
He had a few.
He's Elvis. You're out on the road. It's always kind of a hard thing.
Yeah. But after 5 months after they had like officially separated, his girlfriend, Linda Thompson, had like moved in with him. But they weren't really living together at that point. And that was in February of 1972.
Did they ever have children? Did he ever only ever had the one kid?
He only ever had Lisa Marie.
At least we know of.
Well,
that we're aware of.
That anyone knows.
However, I actually do have something about this. One of his girlfriends, and I cannot remember if it is Linda Thompson or if it is a girlfriend before Linda. Mm-hmm. She ended up getting pregnant and had an abortion, but he didn't know. She didn't tell him until like later.
And maybe she didn't have an abortion.
That is also possible. I don't entirely know.
There could be another Elvis kid out there.
We don't know.
Okay, well,
but that was something he was not told until later because there's a lot of shame around that. Yeah. So, of course, she wouldn't have wanted to tell him if that was the choice she made.
One thing that came out in the movie was Priscilla came out and said that she didn't leave Elvis because of his affairs. It was more because of his drug use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. You've mentioned that a lot when we've talked about him, the idea that he felt so... committed to like all of these people that he essentially has an empire. He himself is like a business and he has people that he has to support. So he needs to be able to go out and perform. Mm-hmm. And they're like, so he ends up in that classic cycle of he goes out to perform on uppers. They give him some downers so that he can sleep.
Yeah. And
if history's taught us anything with musical careers, you can't sustain that very long.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, he was really against street drugs.
Yeah.
He thought it was a prescription drug, but if it was a prescription drug, he was more about it. But anything outside of that, he did not want. He didn't. He kind of saw them as different in that he's like, well, that's not like the thing I want to do. He's like, I don't do that. He's like, but if it's a prescription,
it's science.
It's science.
It was okay.
It's from the doctor. It's more okay. It's safer. Is kind of the thought behind it.
It was prescribed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's.
Yeah, but his divorce from Priscilla was finalized on October 9th of 1973. And it was after that his health really kind of started deteriorating, which I don't know if that has anything to correlate with his divorce, considering that there were multiple affairs, and I'm not entirely certain.
Well, and maybe they were being more amicable than they wanted to be public. Like they still had respect for each other. They still had love for each other. They had a kid together, but they're like, this is no longer a relationship that either of us want to be in. But neither of them wants to publicly like ruin the other or humiliate the other or anything.
Exactly. So, yeah. Is that fire getting too hot for you? Should we open a door? Ooh.
Oh, really?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you gotta put it in the one over there. The two.
It's normally not that hot.
It's a little warm.
Normally, it's not that toasty.
I am glad I went to just one shirt. Like when we were in here last night, and I had like an undershirt and
layers.
my sweater. I'm like, this sweater's so cute. I like this sweater.
But I'm melting.
It's so hot. I'm getting really excited playing a lot of euchre. Whew.
Yeah, but so during this time, and this is something I actually didn't know until like looking into all like the background and everything, he actually overdosed twice on barbiturates.
No shit.
In like 1973. Yeah.
Wow. But that was all prescription drugs.
Yeah.
So was that him overdosing, or was that like a doctor giving him more? Because
the thing is that like we don't know.
Yeah, that's where like the conspiracy shit comes into play.
And we're gonna get to that in a minute.
Okay.
I actually do have more on that.
All right.
Who was his personal doctor? Dr. Nick, right?
I didn't see a name for his personal doctor anywhere.
Well, I think it was Dr. Nick or something like that.
Well, because that's a Simpsons character, and he's like a shady. That makes sense, because that might be the inspiration, because he's specifically set up as a back alley shady doctor, and
the stuff he does, he's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's like just like runs
exactly,
away.
And then they're like, "Hi, doctor." Yeah, he comes in with really bad advice, sells it really well, and then he disappears into the night.
Well,
so that might be the inspiration.
It kind of makes me think of Michael Jackson's doctor.
Well, right.
And that he was giving him certain medication, and people are like, I don't know if this is safe.
Yeah, well,
and
and
he's like, no, like, it's from my doctor. And
right.
Like, you trust your doctor, and it's like a twisting of that trust to like manipulate that person.
Yeah, because it kind of comes down to the same thing of like Michael Jackson became his own industry. And they're like, we need you to perform and make music and go out on stage. So they're like, we need you to be pepped up on amphetamines and then come down so you can sleep. And it and I think even Judy Garland was in the same boat. She ended up having ups and downs.
Prince.
Yeah. It's a vicious cycle, and I think a lot of them get taken in by their doctors, and they're like, yeah, this is fine. And they're like, it's prescribed.
Or they pressure the doctor to give it to him.
That could be true, yeah.
That is also a possibility.
I think Elvis, he might have had two different doctors prescribing stuff for him.
Yeah, I've heard that was the same thing with, it was either Prince or Michael Jackson. They were double dipping. They were double dipping, so to speak, where they didn't know about the other doctor, so they have multiple prescriptions. Yeah. That's all speculation. I have no idea.
Yeah. Right. But despite Elvis's failing health at this point, he was scheduling himself for more and more tours and appearances. Right. So his amount of appearances, I think, doubled within like a year. Which is,
Elvis himself was scheduling those, or the Colonel was scheduling them for
that
Elvis?
I am not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was the Colonel.
Probably.
Because he's not doing the work, and he's reaping the benefits.
The Colonel had a gambling problem. And he was like, he needed Elvis to keep performing.
Yeah, to get his cut. Addiction.
So,
I do want to stop for just a second, because I've heard that before. Did we talk about the Colonel? Who's the Colonel?
That was his manager, Colonel Parker.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same guy as Sam.
No. That was a whole different record.
That was like Sun Labels or whatever from way earlier.
Yeah, so Sam Phillips was with the Sun Studios.
So when does the Colonel come into play?
It wasn't too long after he started getting famous.
Yeah, I think that was with...
like when he started doing movies, maybe?
No, way
was
before.
it with HMC?
Oh, okay.
Or was it with...
RCA?
RCA.
I don't remember.
But at a certain point,
Yeah.
the Colonel essentially became his one dude for
Yeah.
decades.
And I think he got like 50% of everything.
Wow.
He made big.
That's all.
Well, it's kind of like Britney Spears' dad,
Yeah.
Jamie Spears,
Right.
with, and I don't know if you know any of this.
I saw it on the news.
She had her conservatorship with him, and he was scheduling her for like this crazy tour schedule in like 2008, which is actually when she shaved her head.
Right.
And that she was exhausted. She was super overworked. And then to have like the paparazzi in your face and terrorizing you, essentially, that is like what led her to have like a complete mental breakdown.
Plus she was bipolar.
Yes,
You know,
she did have the bipolar, which,
Yeah.
but having someone schedule you to the point where like you're not sleeping, you're not able to take care of
it's
yourself
too much
because you're
pressure for
working
anybody.
16 hours a day. Nobody can do that. It's not sustainable. So for Elvis, I don't know if he was scheduling it or if it was the Colonel.
I think it was the Colonel. The Colonel's the one that got him involved with Vegas, and he was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, did he have like a what do they call that?
A residency?
Yeah. He had
Well,
like his own stage or something.
I don't know if he had his own stage, but he had a contract with one of the big motels or hotels.
Okay, yeah. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
So that would be like a Vegas
I
residency.
think he was doing 2 performances a night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was 7 days a week, but
It's
Still,
still,
that's-
a lot. Yeah. And one of his band mates was kind of under the realization that something was actually very wrong with what was happening when they did a performance at the University of Maryland. And that whole performance, I think of all the performances they have, that was the only one that was a huge just train wreck.
Wow.
Because he like got out of the limousine and just completely like face planted getting out and was like, nobody help me. I can do this. And then he got on stage and just held the microphone for like a half hour. He was just standing there. And they're like, something is very wrong here. And we do not know if he is okay. He was like slurring his words. And he tried singing, but it was very unintelligible. And I think it's the only performance I've ever heard of where Elvis didn't really perform.
The doctor's like, oh shit, I got his meds wrong today.
God.
Oh god, I gave him the downers. I'm supposed to give him the meth.
And then like his bandmate was saying he was just like slumped over in the chair and they're like, you need to stop.
Yeah.
Like I think you like cancel this tour. We shouldn't be doing this. And he's like, no, I need to do this. I need to need to take care of everyone that he knows relies on him. And it was shortly after that I think he just had like a turbulent time after that. Because then like he broke up with his girlfriend Thompson. He started dating Ginger Alden.
Oh, Alden.
is that the one he was with when he died?
Yes. And like shortly
So him
after
and
that-
Thompson never got married. They were,
No.
No, he never remarried.
He never
After
remarried,
Priscilla.
but he proposed to Ginger Alden after dating for 2 months.
I mean, he's Elvis.
He's Elvis.
He might
But
have
I think
proposed
she
to
was
more than.
she proposed to more than one woman.
yeah.
But at the time, he had proposed to her, but he didn't have any intentions of actually marrying her, which I
Okay,
think is
well,
kind of sad.
That's not cool.
No,
How do we know this?
we don't necessarily know
Yeah,
this.
okay.
That is kind of more hearsay.
Maybe that's what
Yeah.
she said.
It could be that, like, yeah, that's what she said, or like someone he knows was like, well, he wasn't really gonna marry her. Like, come on, he's Elvis. Like, he says that to every woman. He's not gonna marry her.
That's.
He's like, he's proposed to the last 4. Like, I don't know. He's not actually.
He meets a
marrying
woman
her.
at a bar and he's like, hey, I'm Elvis. Hey, you want to get married?
Yeah, I can marry us.
Gives her an onion ring. I don't think he did.
No, he was not a big drinker.
No. Well, he was too
wasn't.
hopped up on drugs.
Well, but I don't. He never was big into drinking.
Well, I imagine
No.
similar to street drugs, he thought of it the same way. He's like, I don't
yeah.
need to put that in my body. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm going to do what my
Yeah.
doctor tells me.
Yeah, and it was in this time that he released the last single that was released in his lifetime, which was Way Down.
I know.
I don't know if you know that song. I
know that song.
The title sounds familiar. I'm sure you've played it for me, but I couldn't think of what it is.
On the radio.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
A lot of songs you've heard on the radio, you didn't even realize it was him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And then it was very shortly after that on Tuesday, August 16th, 1977, he was found by his girlfriend / maybe fiance, Ginger Alden, in the bathroom of his house.
I always forget that it's so close to the 80s. It's one of those things where it feels...
It feels like, farther away.
Yeah, he feels like such a character of like the 50s. He feels so much further back, but yeah, he almost made it to the 80s. It's weird to think he was that close.
When he died, it was rocked the nation almost as much as JFK.
Right, I imagine so, yeah.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Everybody was shocked.
Yeah, because even if you weren't a fan, you knew who he was.
Oh,
yeah.
And you knew how big a name he was, and you're like,
absolutely.
He was probably the most famous person in
maybe,
the world.
I was just going to say, maybe ever. Like,
yeah, I mean, just his first name, Elvis. I mean,
exactly. It's.
I mean, how many people only go by one name?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
Elvis,
Like
Cher,
Madonna.
But
a lot of the I think Cher is her actual name, but like he is.
But like they Prince, go by the single name. Right. There's only so many.
Well, I was
Cher, Madonna.
Yeah, I was gonna start
Elvis.
going down a whole list of people who have like stage names. You got your Lizzos, you've got your Madonna, and I'm like, you've got Prince. Well, no, Prince was his actual name. Well, you've got Elvis. Well, no, Elvis was his actual name. It's
a lot of them is their actual name.
I did not know that Prince was his real name for a while, and it's like they referred to him as the Prince of Pop after Michael was the king, and they're like, well, his name was actually Prince.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the difference between being Prince and just the single name versus like Michael Jackson or like Justin Timberlake.
Yep, yeah, and
Mick Jagger.
And like you said, without any real branding, Elvis is Elvis. Like you just he didn't like decide that name. It's not a stage name. He's just that known. He's that good. He's Elvis. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You know, when he was doing the movies, he was the highest paid actor in Hollywood at that time.
Well, he was doing 20 movies a year. So.
Well, I know, he did 33 and
still
6, 7, 8.
But
he was the highest paid actor.
Well, and even when you get down to the idea of them just trying to churn out movies, the whole point is it's just because it's an Elvis movie. It doesn't even have to be a great film. Just because it's Elvis, they're gonna sell tickets.
Yeah.
You're like, that's all you need. You just need that name, and they'll put butts in seats. They'll sell a bunch of tickets, and they're like, that's all you need.
That's like putting Leonardo DiCaprio's name on something. Leo DiCaprio, and you're like, millions of dollars, billions. It's
no matter
everything's sold out.
Yeah,
like,
no matter who the director
maybe
is.
Wasn't that great?
Well,
to be fair, he hasn't been in anything bad that I've seen recently.
It's always
for me, it's Clint Eastwood's.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even as and he's one of those that spans acting and directing. So yeah, you put Clint Eastwood on it, and people will go see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me, it's wow, that's
some obscure name none of us.
No, dude with the mustache, Virgil from Tombstone. Oh, Sam Elliott.
No, Sam Elliott.
No. You put him in a movie, I will watch anything he's in.
Well,
to be fair,
too.
The Ranch is one of my favorite shows Netflix has done.
What, The Ranch?
The Ranch.
Yeah, he's really good. And you wouldn't expect him to do like
conservative, you know.
Is he? I thought it was pretty.
It's a very Colorado Western Grand Junction.
No, I agree.
Which is where they filmed, actually.
Yeah.
It's in
Really?
Grand Junction. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I think it's a testament to how well written that show is. That they're obviously very conservative. Red
It fits the area.
But it's so well written. It doesn't matter what your political affiliations are. It's Sam Elliott just doing the best Sam Elliott.
The interesting part was he's very conservative and she's very liberal.
Yeah. Which seems to happen more than you might expect.
Yeah.
Well, for a movie strip.
Yeah.
No, he's. Oh man, You put Sam Elliott in something and I'll go watch it.
He was good at that.
He was really, oh man.
He's pretty much good in everything he does.
He is.
Parks and Recreation.
That's what I was thinking. I have to show you some clips from, because I'm guessing you've never seen it, but you are used to seeing Sam Elliott as a gunslinger, a ranch owner. He plays the furthest leftist hippie you've ever seen in Parks and Rec.
So funny.
He stands in the woods and birds fly to him. And it's the weirdest. I gotta show you some clips. Did he shave his mustache for that?
No, he still looks.
That's what. Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was. He shaves his mustache. No, it's okay.
Else.
Yeah, he shaves his mustache for one thing. I can't remember.
Well,
what
it was a Netflix tape series. I remember that.
Yeah, I can say it wasn't for Parks and Rec because he's the same version as Ron Swanson. He's like the anti-Ron.
He's the anti-Ron. I was gonna say, I don't know if Parks and Rec would be your show, but you would love certain scenes with Sam Elliott. He's so goofy. It's weird.
He was in The Big Lebowski.
He was. I know. I was even gonna say, he's not a big part of that movie. But you tell me Sam Elliott's in it. He just sits at a bar at a bowling alley and he narrates things. That's it. I'm like, I'm still on board. I'll go see it for him.
Well,
we have gotten way off topic. But
I was gonna say, I can see how Elvis has that draw.
Yes,
with how popular
Elvis was very charismatic. Probably not as charismatic as. Well, that's why he was so famous.
Right. Well, I think it's one of those things where certain people today in Hollywood, even just like political pundits and stuff, you get a sense that they're disingenuous. They're just doing stuff to sell a product or sell an idea or sell themselves. And every person that I've talked to, everything I've read about it, Elvis always seemed
genuine.
Yeah, he always seemed to just be himself. And they're like, that's a big part of him being successful, is like he always was just who he was. He wasn't trying to sell anything.
He was a gentleman.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
He truly was.
Yeah.
He always tried to do the best thing he could.
He was very polite.
Yeah.
He always thanked his audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that became a catchphrase. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Elvis has left the building.
Yeah. My last fun fact for you is that over 80,000 people attempted to attend his funeral, which was a combination of people who knew him personally and fans.
I was going to say my favorite part of that sentence was attempted. It's like people who were trying to climb fences and stuff.
Just the fact that everyone wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I think it's so heartwarming.
Yeah.
Going from being severely bullied in school and being an outcast to being loved by millions of people.
Yeah. And even as he became one of the most famous people ever, he still was worried about providing for his team. That was the whole reason that he was doing those drugs, is he's like, I have people to support.
Yeah.
He's not even necessarily doing it for the love of the music. He's like, I have people that depend on me. I have to keep doing this.
I've got one more fun fact for you.
Go for it.
Yes.
Buddy Pete.
Yo, God. Shout out to Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
His mom was a very avid Elvis fan.
Yeah.
Pete was working in the hog barn when he found out Elvis died, and he said he cried.
No shit.
Yeah, he felt so bad for his mom that he...
Oh, for his mom.
Yeah, well, and
Pete,
for Elvis.
Right, but Pete felt bad for his mom. Pete felt bad for his own mom when she found out.
Himself.
Right, well, he was sad that Elvis had passed away. All right. I mean, we can leave it in.
Elvis has left the building.
He's left the building. Oh, now I feel bad. Well, you try to do recording during the holidays and things are going to happen.
Yeah, you have family just talking in. It's fine.
Well, special shout out to Bear. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thanks for stopping in for a hot minute.
So was that your last fact?
That is the last thing I have for you without going deeper into anything super specific.
I was going to say, the only thing I was going to bring up is so how do we feel about an alien abduction and that Elvis is still alive and he's coming back someday?
He's not coming back.
How do we now feel about the fact that maybe he faked his own death at the end of that?
You go first.
I don't believe it.
Okay. I appreciate your candor and your skepticism towards it. I also don't believe it.
Thing.
No.
I really don't, honestly.
But I will say, until I had forgotten about that, we had talked about that during Celebrity Deaths, and of any like celebrity conspiracy thing that I've ever heard, I don't think I've ever wanted one to be true more than that.
More
I
than
love the
Elvis's
idea,
one?
of him being just a lowly like janitor or groundskeeper at his own like
Estate.
historical estate, and he's like, "Hey, have you all checked out the kitchen? It's pretty nice in there."
Hey, you asked me if I remember any weird grounds. I don't even remember seeing one.
Well, there's your conspiracy theory out the window.
Insight. They
there's
do not
nobody there.
exist
Not
at
something I didn't even
Graceland.
notice, you know.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could be there.
that's
I
right.
will finish with one thing.
Yeah.
You know, I always knew of Elvis, and a lot of my older cousins were really big into Elvis when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I really got interested in Elvis when I went to Graceland and toured his house.
Really?
It just does something to you.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, you got to go there.
You have recommended it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean,
You've heard it here, listeners.
you become a fan.
Go to Graceland.
Well, and as a matter of fact, I think Bear's gone, or maybe I'm thinking Nashville. Didn't they go to Graceland once or twice?
No, I don't think they went to Nashville in the old lot, or
Oh, I
read
think
about
that's
they
him.
went to Graceland, though.
I do know. I was thinking it was him, but I must be thinking of somebody else. You're not the only person who's recommended
You
that.
walk through his trophy room where all his golden records and that were, and it's just unbelievable what that man accomplished in a short career. It's
Well, and I'll say again,
overwhelming.
the little bit that I've read about him, that I've heard about him, like extramarital affairs aside, I've only heard positive things about him as like a person and just a gentleman. They're
he
like
was very, very generous.
I've heard
Yes.
that too.
Extremely generous.
Absolutely.
Probably to a fault.
Well, no, I was going to say that too. Like that might be one of the things that kind of led to his downfall. Is just he grew up so poor, he felt the need to help anyone that he could, if he could. And
especially the people close to him.
Exactly, yeah.
The Memphis Mafia, his entourage, you know. He'd buy those guys Cadillacs for Christmas.
Yeah.
You know.
Just because he could.
Yeah.
Like, he thought they could use a Cadillac.
Yeah.
It definitely makes me think of Dolly Parton and how she has like a book program for children just because why not?
Well, I didn't even realize. Apparently, Sammy.
Library.
Yeah. Just
one of
little
our
things like that. It's
like
just
Mimi's
so sweet.
sisters or cousins. Yeah, Sammy was almost the head of the chapter of that thing in this area before
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Sister and brother-in-law that live in Silver City, New Mexico, they run the program in New Mexico
Yeah.
for the Imagination Library.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the
Really
Imagination
big
Library.
into it. Really big into it.
And
I think they've even met Dolly.
And not to get too far off of Elvis, but just to like talk about how amazing some people are. Like, I still remember my favorite story about like any celebrity is the idea that when Dolly Parton first made it big, she had that first manager. Yeah. And she bought her catalog of songs from him when she made it big, and he was having like really bad financial troubles. So she paid a shitload of money to him just to help him out, but she bought her whole catalog back. And then when he finally kind of came back around and he was on his feet again, he reached out to her to try and start buying it back, just kind of piece by piece. And she supposedly sent him a fax, because it's the late 70s. He doesn't know email. She sent him a fax that said, "You can have it all for free." She gave it back because
I do remember.
And it's like, one, you're just that successful that you can
you're like.
I was gonna say, I think she was a much better business person than Elvis.
Oh, that could be.
That is possible.
Yeah.
And she started out really dirt poor too.
Yeah,
right.
She
They
did.
didn't have running water or electricity until she was like a teenager.
Well, and I think that's a pretty decent mark. And it does relate to Elvis. Just the idea of people who, like certain celebrities that start off with a celebrity status, like they have a family member or a family or whatever, like an empire, versus people who start off with nothing.
They don't have 2 cents to rub together.
Yeah, and they are very more respectful, and they try to be as nice of people, and they
You know where? Have you ever been to Pigeon Forge? That's where Dolly World is.
Oh no, Mimi's talks about.
Yeah, we actually went there by accident once.
Well, that sounds like a story in and of itself.
That's another.
Okay.
That's a story for another time now.
Well, that's a tease for an upcoming episode at some point. We'll have to rope you in for another Dolly Parton.
We will.
Pigeon. What is it called? Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, it's by the Smoky Mountains.
Where is that in Montana? Oh, that's not good.
It is
It's
in
right by-
Appalachia.
Oh boy, I was way off. I was.
Montana.
No, it's Tennessee, right?
Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Pigeon Forge.
So I have to ask, do any of us have a favorite Elvis song?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. Dad, I'm gonna let you go first because I think I know what your answer. Okay, before you answer,
one of my favorites is "Suspicious Minds," and that's one of his most famous songs.
yeah,
And then "If a Man Can Dream," that was
there it.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's the one I was gonna ask
He
you.
introduced that in the '69 comeback thing.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about it. Is that the one you've mentioned a few times when you're talking about getting on the road in the morning?
Yeah, that's the one time Mimi and I took off. I think we were in Montana or Wyoming, in the middle of nowhere. It was early in the morning. It was nice and cool, and that song came on the radio.
Yeah,
We were both singing it out loud going down the road, and it just, when I hear that, it reminds me of
I'm not gonna lie.
early morning taking off on a road trip.
Since I've started working at the post office, every so often when I'm having a really bad morning or something, I've gone out and I've done, especially this time of year, doing Christmas, you do like an hour and a half of just delivering packages in the morning. Then you have to go back to the office. You spend an hour doing all your magazines and mail and everything. You load your truck up, and then you still have to do your whole day. And I've had days where I'm just not feeling it. I'm in a slump, and then I put that song on, and I'm like, maybe it's not so bad. it's a really good song.
Yeah,
it is
inspirational.
It is, and you really feel the emotion of him just as a performer in that song.
Yeah,
he puts a lot of emotion in a lot of his songs. But
we'll
that
have to watch that one on video and Unchained Melody when we're done here.
Yes, we will.
For whatever reason, Careless Whisper comes into my mind, but that's not an Elvis song by any means. That's not even close. I think that's like super 80s style.
That is super 80s George Michael's.
What's your favorite Elvis song?
That is a great. I think I might have.
Good song.
He does, and off the top of my head, just right now, and it might just be your influence. I think I would have to go with Unchained Melody. Only because that's not his song. It's from the Righteous Brothers. But his version, especially that last one of the live performance, it's the last song at one of the last performances, and he walks out right after it.
He couldn't hardly stand.
Yeah, he's sweating bullets, and he's overweight, and but there's no loss of performance. There's no loss of skill in that moment. Yeah, like it's almost like he's having trouble breathing. Yeah. But he hits these notes that should be impossible for him. And he's playing. There's nobody. There's no drums. There's no guitar. There's nothing.
Just him and a piano.
Yeah, and he's in a giant theater that is just absolutely silent. You can hear a pin drop except for him performing. Whoa. And then he's done, and he just kind of walks out, and that's it. And you're like, that's the last thing of him as Elvis ever, and it's really powerful. So I think
it really is.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I'd have had a specific answer, but I always remember that video the first time you showed it to me. It's really powerful stuff.
It is.
But Celine, that comes back to you. What do you have?
So I have three. One being a Christmas song, and that Blue Christmas is like by far one of my favorites.
Just songs in general, or for Christmas?
Just in general, like and especially for Christmas.
Right,
that is like one of my top favorite Christmas songs, and songs I do love from Elvis is Blue Christmas. And then I'm also a huge fan of Can't Help Falling in Love and Burning Love. I love a good love song.
Yeah. That was one of his early famous.
Yeah. Those are some of my favorite ones.
Well, and I was going to say a song, but I think it's a Queen song, but it might have been an Elvis song, which is, God, I can't remember what it was. This Thing Called Love. I think, this thing called love. I can't handle it. Maybe that is just a Queen song.
I know what song you're talking about.
Sounds familiar to me.
Okay, well then it must not be. I thought it was them covering an Elvis song.
I think that song is Queen, but it very much has like an Elvis style. Because
for sure. Yeah,
I feel like a lot of it reminds me a bit of like Jailhouse Rock, a little bit with some of like the guitar parts.
Yeah, the swing, you can, like, because you hear it and it's Freddie Mercury singing, but you can totally see the gyration of Elvis.
Yeah,
like as you hear. I always thought that was an Elvis song and they covered it, but if you've never heard of it,
it's definitely not. No,
well, now that's just embarrassing because I thought I had a great answer. It's not even close.
But it is a good song, though.
It is a good song. We'll have to talk about Queen at some point.
And
well, I feel like, did you have anything else for us?
Just our ratings for food. And as drinks as we covered, Tom has decided the drink is a 0, so absolutely will not touch again.
Did you drink mine, man?
Yeah, I did. You said you weren't going for it. I'm like, well, I'm a bit parched. I'll
just go for it.
So the chicken was good.
Okay, so do you have a number from 1 to 10? How you might rate it?
Put it up there 8 or 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another piece or two.
Fantastic. Well, that makes me feel better because I've made it a few times and I'm trying to zone in on exactly.
I ate my whole drumstick.
Well, I know you're trying to cut your calorie intake a little bit. So, well, Celine, what'd you think?
I would say for the drink, I'd probably give it about a 4. Just.
Okay. Well, that's pretty high.
I did drink the whole thing.
Okay.
So
it becomes easier to drink as you go.
Especially the second one, right?
The second one. The second one was like a milkshake. It was delicious.
But I think more because it's not something I would order for myself regularly. That is why I put it at a 4. But I did drink the whole thing. So I didn't absolutely hate it.
She was just being nice to you, man.
That's fine. I'll take it. A 4 is good.
And I'd say for the chicken about a 7.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
It was good.
I will say
the chicken.
The first few times that I made it honestly for me was like a 4 or 5. The chicken. I don't know what it was, but I've played with the ratio of spices to flour for the coating and everything. And this recipe in particular says you can marinate it in it's a buttermilk seasoning marinade up to 5 days. And the first time that you and I had it, that was the full 5 days. I left it, And this one was just overnight, and I don't really notice any difference. It's pretty tasty. This is probably the best version that I've ever made for me. I thought I did not like the first 2 times that I made it.
I feel like just overnight is enough.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to marinate for 5 days.
No, and
maybe I'm wrong on that.
Well, and I'll definitely try 5 days again, but I've increased the amount of seasoning versus flour since the last few times I made it, so I think that's a little. But I'd give it a 7 or an 8. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
the drink is a 3.
The drink. Oh, so I have the highest rate.
You do actually. It's a 0. And I do want to just reiterate that we're not making these as like necessarily to be likable. They're supposed to be relatable to the context of the story we're talking about.
And say we've had a few rough pairings.
We had one that was just Bud Light, and it was a 0. I'm like, I don't care what you say. Bud Light is terrible. We don't need any spots. Oh God, I think that's the lowest I've ever rated anything. It might have been a 1, but. Yeah, no, that's a 3. That drink is not great. I would not recommend it. But it was,
How about the 2 together?
They do not complement themselves. The drink really drags down the chicken a lot.
I feel like the pairing is... Best. Yeah, I was going to say it's maybe like a 4 or 3 together.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
I will say again, this is the best version of these. Even some of them. Clearly, this one right here is a little scorched. That overcooked some of them and undercooked some of them. But the drink drags it down quite a bit.
I mean, as long as the chicken itself is cooked, I don't think we really need to worry about it.
Well, and that was part of the long process of it. When we were over here the last time, we baked it after cooking it for like 5 or 6 minutes. And we ended up baking it for almost an extra like hour and a half.
Oh my God.
I think some of it got a little overdone.
Well, and some of it was still undercooked. So that's the main reason that I just because the first time that I ever tried this, we was at home in Eau Claire and we fried all of it. But I was temperature testing each one to make sure it was...
What does the recipes tell you to do?
There's not a lot of info. The entire recipe that I found so it's a blog post that was pulled from a recipe of the guy.
Are you supposed to deep fry it to brown it and then bake it in the oven?
Yes, his official recipe is you fry it in that kind of frying pan, presumably, for about 5 minutes, and then you bake it the rest of the way. He doesn't tell you how long you're supposed to bake it. He doesn't tell you at what temp you're supposed to bake it.
And I think when you told Mimi you were baking it for 15 minutes, she says, Matt, that's way too short.
Well, yeah. So this whole
not long enough.
Yeah, but I looked up like 5 to 7 recipes, and from what I could tell, the one that I ended up on was the most like official of like his actual home cook, but there just wasn't a lot of info. And there again, the original recipe for each spice was like 1.5 cups of paprika, 1.5 cups, and I'm like, well, that's a lot of seasoning, but it's for like 100 people in one batch. So I ended up making all of the spices, and then I just cut it down to 1 scoop of all of them. It's been a process.
The whole 4.5.
The thing I have up in the kitchen right now is 2 months old already because I made the whole thing of seasoning. I was trying, because I was
just like use that for other things.
I might, well, because I was trying to find the fastest way.
Or fish, walleye.
Yes, I might do that. That would be really good for walleye. But I was trying to find the easiest way to break it down to a smaller recipe. And I realized like the next steps were just the flour dredge. And I'm like, okay, let's start with just 1 cup of flour and what the ratio would be of everything to that. So I just made the whole thing. And I'm like, so let's assume that I need 1 cup for this. That would mean that 1 scoop of all of these seasons.
I think a lot of this is going to get edited, Matt.
That's her department.
That's my job.
I'm going to go stoke the wood stove.
Okay, you go do that. We're going to do our little outro here. If you have any recommendations for us, you can email us at peculiarpairingspod@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at peculiarpairpod, or check us out at Instagram at peculiarpairingspod. It's plural. Or you can check us out on Patreon as well.
Yeah, all the good shit.
Yeah. And
how many
make some
followers
chicken.
do you have?
1.
Oh.
And it's
That's not true.
And it's me.
Why do you say that to people?
Because I give myself low standards so that I'm not disappointed. I don't.
Okay.
Are you looking it up?
I can look up how many people we have on Instagram specifically.
Oh, this is going to be
now.
It's going to be disappointing.
And we have 150 as of this current moment.
That's almost as many people as I have friends on Facebook.
Ooh, we are moving up in the world now.
We're almost beating a Tom Ditter Facebook
I don't
page.
even know how many there are. I've never solicited any.
Well, you don't need to. You're a pillar of the community.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
They just
really
come
don't
to
need
you.
They do. They really come to you. You do no work.
Whoa!
And that is fine.
That's what happens when you do it live.
Yes. It's fine. It's just the cord for
So this is our last episode of 2022. Do you know what's coming up in 2023? Oh, no. Not necessarily the next one, but a preview of what's to come.
Let me check, because I do have a nice list going. I just don't know where the list is currently located in the Google Drive. Okay. So I've got Lavinia Fisher, Holocaust Adventures, the Island of the Dolls.
Oh, yeah.
Revisiting Dean Coral, who is the Candyman with Elmer Wayne Henley, as well as Bigfoot.
Yes.
Poisoning alcohol during Prohibition.
Yeah.
And, just like a few other things, like the missing Malaysian airline
Oh, right. What is that? 137?
Yeah. So some things like that. We've got some good stuff coming in the new year.
Reamer.
We were just talking to Mimi this morning about that. Like, they officially named Reamer, Minnesota as the home of Bigfoot.
What? I thought it was like Washington.
You'd think it would be in Montana where there's mountains. No, it's supposedly...
It's Minnesota.
Yeah. Little small town Reamer. It doesn't make any
I
sense.
think it's self-proclaimed.
It is very much...
Self-proclaimed.
It's very much self-proclaimed. They have a...
So that is... Yeah.
Shout out to the Reamer Bigfoot Hunting Society. They have apparently officially named themselves the home of Bigfoot.
Go up, grab a bag or two and haul it up with you, okay?
You got it. That'll be
I gotta
perfect
go out
button
and
for the
pick
end of
up
the show.
the wood that Izzy and Luke spread around the
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
This is all staying in.
I mean, it can.
It absolutely will. It'll give it a hometown feel that is
Yeah.
a certain charm.
And that is it for our episode today.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. I love that Dad already walked. He's like, well, this is enough.
you
Yeah. You hear the slam of the door.
He's done.
Yeah. That's every listener just leaving.
I appreciate that he took the time to come and sit here with us.
That's honestly longer than I thought it was going to go.
You thought he was going to leave halfway through.
I really kind of did. I thought he would not want to be here for the beginning. He would show up for a little bit in the middle, and then
just
by like a quarter of the way through, he's like, "Well, this is enough. The chicken's terrible. The beer is awful. I'm out." No, he was into it. I was pretty pleased. That was good stuff.
He stayed in, and until next year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in 2023.
Woo!
Woo!
Bye.
Goodbye.